Happy day, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Burgess back with Think and Grow Rich. And, it's up to this point, we've built the foundation. And now it's time to start to build the building, as an analogy or as a metaphor. Desire, faith, self-suggestion. What do you really want? Do you have the faith in your ability to get what you want, to actually receive it? Are you prepared to receive the good that you desire? That's really what we're doing here. There's no question about that. And how we develop that faith is through the principle Napoleon says is autosuggestion. Now, we've taken that, we've turned it around, we said, no, that's self-suggestion. And the reason we call it self-suggestion is because when we implement the sixth step, we're suggesting to ourselves what absolutely is going to take place. This is what we're doing. There's no question about it. This is what's happening. This is the amount of money I want. This is what I'm giving in return. This is the date. This is my plan. I've written it out. Now I'm reading it every day. Remember the six steps, right? And by doing that repetitively, that's how we develop faith in our ability to do it. Just like math class. You repetitively went to math class 5 days a week, 9 months a year, 12 years for most people. Only for 8 for me. But anyway, but the repetition of over and over and over and over and over and over again is how you develop faith in your ability to answer the question, what is 5 times 5? You know the answer. So the only way to develop that much faith in our ability to pull off what it is we want to pull off, to obtain what we want, to receive the good we desire, is through the same type of repetition. I mean, it just makes logical sense. So those 3 principles, the first 3 principles, are the foundation. Now it's time to build the life, time to build the building. And the first principle that Napoleon Hill wants to talk about is what he calls specialized knowledge. He says these are personal experiences or observations. And he points out that there are 2 kinds of knowledge. One is general, the other is specialized. He says general knowledge, no matter how great in quantity or variety it is, no matter how great, it doesn't matter, is of but little use in the accumulation of money. There's no question about that. General knowledge is of but little use in the accumulation of money. Now, I quit school in the 8th grade, as you know. Now, our daughters went to school, and they went all the way through. One daughter's still in college. The other daughter's been through 2 trade schools, and now she's a medical massage therapist. And they're continuing their education that way, with what they want to do in life. So I'm not anti-education, not by any stretch of the imagination. But the school that they went to gave them general knowledge. They've now obtained specialized knowledge. Rachel is in the process of it. Amanda has obtained it. So, I'm not anti-education, but let's make sure we understand something. Even when they gain the specialized knowledge from those buildings and from those books, they're not being told what to do with the knowledge, how to organize that knowledge, or to monetize it, other than trade their time for money. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, getting a job. I'm not saying that's bad at all. But let's have the right mindset while we do it, okay? So, knowledge will not attract money, is what he says. Knowledge will not attract money. Knowledge attract money. I thought I had to work for money. I was taught all my life I have to work for money. I've got to trade my time for money. Trade my time for money. I go put in X number of hours, I get paid X number of dollars. And then I read this, and this hit me very early in my career of reading this book. Knowledge will not attract money. Attract money. Let's continue. Unless it is organized and intelligently directed through practical plans of action to the definite end of accumulation of money. So in other words, is that what you really want? And have you taken the knowledge that you have and given in that knowledge an intelligent direction to a definite end? Or are we just kind of taking action? You know, everybody takes action every day, but is it intelligent action to a definite end? He says, lack of understanding of this fact has been the source of confusion to millions of people who believe that knowledge is power. He says knowledge is not power. It is nothing of the sort. It is only potential power. Knowledge all by itself is nothing. He says it becomes power only when and if it is organized into definite plans of action and then directed to a definite end. Simple. This is not hard. So we gather all this knowledge in the knowledge gathering years of our life. Once again, I'm not anti-education. I truly believe that we should send our kids to school to learn how to learn. Learn to learn and never stop. Don't stop just because you come to 12th grade and you go through that commencement thing. That commencement thing means beginning, not end. Anyway, he says the missing link the missing link in all systems of education known to civilization may be found in the failure of those institutions to teach the students how to organize and use the knowledge after they acquire it. Do they know how to use it after they acquire it? Do they know how to use it to give it an intelligent direction to a definite end? Or, and let's just follow me here, are they just teaching them to live under a thumb at a company somewhere and not really think? It's just a thought, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a thought. He says many people make the mistake of assuming that because Henry Ford had but little schooling, he is not a man of education. He said those who make this mistake do not know Henry Ford, nor do they know the real meaning of the word educate. Oh, you have my attention now. The real meaning of the word educate is when you go to that building and you study that book and you pass those tests, lots of them, over and over again. That's what I thought anyway, but that's not what he says. He says the word is derived, educate, is derived from the Latin word educo, which means to educe or to draw from within, to educe, to bring out from within what is already here, to bring it out. That's education? So wait a minute. Just because I didn't go to that building and I didn't read all of those books and I didn't pass those tests and I didn't cram for the test on Thursday, take the test Friday and forget that garbage by Friday afternoon or Saturday, and I didn't do very well at that. Are you telling me that that doesn't mean I'm not educated? Is that what it means? Oh. That's not at all what he's talking about. That's not what it means. That's not what education means. I was so relieved when I found this. Because as he talks about self-inferiority complexes in a minute, as you might imagine, as a kid to quit school in the 8th grade, I had a pretty healthy one. He says an educated person is not necessarily one who has an abundance of general or specialized knowledge. He says an educated person is one who has so developed the faculties of their mind that they may acquire anything they want or its equivalent without violating the rights of others. Developing the faculties of our mind. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got mental faculties. Well, let's call them this, mental muscles. I like to simplify everything. Muscles. We have mental muscles. You see, Brutus and Roscoe, which are the two wiener dogs that are right over there having a little snooze, they have a brain. They can actually see, hear, smell, taste, and touch just like you and I can. However, they don't have the mental muscles. Neither one of those dogs have the reasoning capability to not run out in traffic if I were to throw a treat out in traffic for them. They would run right out there. You know that, and so do I. They do not have the capability. It's not there. So far as we know, you and I are the only creations on this planet that have the ability to use these mental muscles. And one of them is reason, which is our ability to think. That doesn't mean we actually do that, but we have the ability to do that. So he's talking about how we can acquire anything we want or its equivalent without violating the rights of others when we develop these mental muscles. I had never heard anything like that, ladies and gentlemen. I had never heard anything, and maybe you had neither. But this really stretched my mind out because all at once I'm a different person. All at once I don't feel the same about me as I once did. Because I accept what he's saying here. I accept it just because you go to school and then the building school and you study that stuff and then you pass the tests doesn't mean you're a person of education. Think about that for a minute. He tells a story about Henry Ford, and during the war, where a Chicago newspaper published certain editorials in which, among other statements, Henry Ford was called an ignorant pacifist. And Henry took a little bit of offense to this particular remark, and he himself was placed on the witness stand. He brought suit against him, sued him for $1 million for libeling him. He was placed on the witness stand and just asked a ton of questions, just to prove by his own evidence that he was indeed an ignorant man. So he was asked with questions like, who was Benedict Arnold, and how many soldiers did the British send over to America to put down the rebellion of 1776? And it's said that he answered that question by saying that, I don't know the exact number of soldiers the British sent over, but I have heard it was considerably larger than the number that went back. So he had some sarcasm working as well. And then he became tired of the line of questions, and in reply to a very particularly offensive question, some that really got into his personal life, he leaned over and pointed a finger at the attorney. And he says this: if I should really want to answer the foolish question you have just asked, or any of the other questions you have been asking me, let me remind you that I have a row of electric push buttons on my desk, and by pushing the right button, I can summon to my aid men who can answer any question I ask concerning the business to which I am devoting most of my efforts. Now, will you kindly tell me why I should clutter up my mind with general knowledge for the purpose of being able to answer questions when I have men around me who can supply any knowledge that I require? You think about that answer. That answer floored the attorney. Everyone in the room knew that this was a man of education, not an ignorant man. So it's said that Henry ultimately wins the lawsuit. And he wins $1. Now, in my mind, now that I've matured into the book and I think it through all the way, he kind of wasted a lot of time, energy, money to win $1 to go after this lawsuit. But the point that Napoleon is making here is that just because Henry Ford was born illiterate, he lacked a formal education, it didn't stop him from being a person of education, because he drew from within. He grew from within. And I have to imagine in my mind, that's why you're here. You want to grow from within, or you wouldn't be watching these videos. You wouldn't be studying this book. And what I really know more than anything else is same old isn't good enough for you anymore. You didn't come this far in life just to come this far in life. There's so much more that you and I can do together. I can do it, you can do it, we can do it together by studying this material and going after what we truly desire, just like Henry Ford did. Now, specialized knowledge. Oh, wait a minute, excuse me, I blitzed forward a little bit. I want to talk about something else before I get there, excuse me. He says the accumulation of great fortunes calls for power, and power is acquired through highly organized and intelligently directed specialized knowledge. But that knowledge does not necessarily have to be in the possession of the person who accumulates the fortune. Now, I don't know about you, that excites me to death. Think about it. I don't have to have all of the knowledge required for me to accumulate a fortune. No. Think about this, the paragraph before that. Andrew Carnegie stated that he personally knew nothing about the technical end of the steel business, and he did not particularly care to know anything about it. The specialized knowledge which he required for the manufacturing and marketing of steel, he found available through the individual units of his mastermind. In other words, he surrounded himself with people smarter than he in other areas than he was. That's what he did. He surrounded himself with people smarter than he was. What did Henry Ford do? Specialized knowledge. He surrounded himself with people smarter than he. That's all these guys are doing. Think about, fast forward to today's age. And let's think about this little bitty company called Amazon. Do you really think the guy that founded that company and is at the head of the list of that company, do you really believe he knows how to operate everything and do everything? No. Specialized knowledge in so many different areas of the company, from logistics to, oh my gosh, product to warehousing, on and on and on and on and on. Do you really think he knows how to do all of that? Not even a chance. What other company? Oh, there's a computer company that's like a piece of fruit, right? Apple. Do you really think the people at the top of the company, I mean, obviously it's one of its founders is gone, rest his soul. But do you really think the founders of the company know every little or the leaders of the company at this point, excuse me, not the founder, knows every little aspect of it? No, they don't. There's specialized knowledge everywhere. So here's the question. What specialized knowledge do you need to have to acquire what you want, to prepare yourself to receive the good you desire? And what specialized knowledge do you need to surround yourself with? Because if you want to be the jack of all trades and master of none, that's probably what your results will be. None. Certainly not what you want. Now he talks about how it pays how to purchase knowledge. And we have to gain knowledge. I've been gaining knowledge every day for 26 years, over 26 years from this book. And you can do that too. Just commit right now a little bit every day. Just a little bit every day. It might be 15 minutes every day. But do it every day. Doesn't matter what day, doesn't matter where you are. I'm on vacation. Take a book with you. But, oh man, I'm on the boat all day. I have one of these on my boat. And they're in the Sea-Doos. And they're everywhere. Both vehicles that I drive have a copy of this book. They're everywhere. They're in the bathrooms. They're in the bedroom. There's one here. And there's a box of them over here. I'm not exaggerating when I say a box of them. And here's what I'd like to do for those that are following me and for those that are following these videos. This is what I'm going to do. And if you haven't watched this video all the way through, you won't know I'm doing this. A prompting just hit me, an intuitive idea. Intuition is one of those mental muscles he talks about. Oh, by the way, here are the mental muscles. They're on my wall to remind me to exercise them. But this intuitive idea just came to me. So for the first 3 people who shoot me an email, somehow, some way, the people who put all of this together and put it on YouTube, they'll know how to put an email somewhere, somehow. You shoot me an email and you tell me why you want to know this book. Why do you want to do this? And I will invest my own money. I'm not asking for shipping and receiving. I'm not asking for anything. But you send me that email. Tell me why. What's the why behind you studying this? And I will send you a brand new copy. A brand new copy of Think and Grow Rich. It's right here. I've got a few, so I got lots of them. And I'm going to send it to you. 3 people, the first 3. Just 3. So don't procrastinate, don't delay. You might not even want to watch the rest of this video. You go somebody's going after the email address right now. But you don't even have to purchase this knowledge. Where I am, it says it pays how to purchase knowledge. First of all, decide the sort of specialized knowledge you require. Well, you need to learn how to think. I can promise you that's the specialized knowledge we all require. First 3 people who email me, tell me, why are you doing this? I will invest my own money. I bought the book. Send me your where to send you, where to send the book. Yeah, your address. Duh. Send me your address, and I will send you a copy of this book 100% on us. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Joe. And don't miss the next video, because the next video I'm going to tell you what specialized knowledge Andrew Carnegie possessed to become the wealthiest man in the world. So don't miss that. Don't miss that. Hit the subscribe button right now. Hit it. Push the subscribe. Push the like. Go find us on Facebook. Push all those little buttons for us too, if you would, please. Because the more people we can talk to about this material, the more of a positive impact we can have on the lives of others. And that's why we're here. So once again, let's everybody thank Joe. Joe, thank you so much for what you do, my friend. Thank you, because without you, Joe, we wouldn't be here. It's just that simple. As always, ladies and gentlemen, our greatest desire, truly one of the greatest desires I have, is for this day to be the very best day you've ever experienced in this game we call life. Yesterday doesn't matter. Tomorrow isn't here. Today you can do something about. So please do that. Allow this day to be the best. When you put your head on the pillow tonight, please do so with a mind full of peace, Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. And may God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.